Money issues are the leading cause of conflict in relationships. In fact, studies show that 7 in 10 married or cohabitating couples have had a disagreement about money in the last year. With money being something that is so essential in our daily life, why does it create such tension in a relationship? In this video, I'm going to go over why talking about money with your partner is so hard, and I'll give you the answers to how we've overcome this exact challenge in my own relationship. So stick around to the end because you're not going to want to miss this. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Brett, and I'm a financial coach. I help individuals and couples create long-lasting financial stability and success through one-on-one coaching. Today, I'll be going over a topic that hits close to home for many couples. Why is it so freaking hard to talk to your significant other about money? Whether you've been dating your partner for a bit or married for decades, chances are you've had your fair share of financial disagreements. And that's okay, because not everyone is supposed to agree on everything. But avoiding these conversations can create even more stress down the line. So let's look at why talking about money with your spouse feels like you have to walk on eggshells. For a lot of people, money isn't just about the numbers. It's tied to deeper issues like security, independence, and even identity. Let's break down a few of the most common challenges that come up when couples try to talk about their finances. First, nobody wants to start an argument with the person that they love. Sometimes one partner might feel like talking about money will bring up tension or criticism, so they avoid it altogether. Maybe one person has completely different money beliefs and habits than the other, and those differences make the conversation seem impossible to bring up without ending up in a fight. This is the fear of conflict. According to a Policy Genius survey, about 17% of couples report they never discuss money, while about the same secretly believe their partner is financially irresponsible. This financial disconnect can lead to frequent disagreements, with a small percentage of people even considering leaving their partner due to money issues. Second, one partner may primarily value saving for the future, while the other prefers to live that YOLO life and values spending their money today. These conflicting views can make it hard to come up with an agreement on big decisions, like whether to buy a house or how much to put into savings each month. These differing financial philosophies can create a lot of tension between partners. A recent Ramsey Solutions survey found that couples who have consumer debt like credit cards are 64% more likely to argue about money than those who are debt-free. Lastly, there's often an imbalance of financial knowledge in relationships. If one spouse handles the bills and the other feels like they're left in the dark, it can lead to feelings of resentment or even shame, making it hard to bring up the topic at all. These are those couples that say things like, "My wife handles all the bills. I just give her the paycheck and hope that everything is good." This also can put an insane amount of pressure on the person that is handling the finances to make sure that they get it right. To understand all of this better, we need to take a look at what some of the psychological reasons are behind these challenges. For one, emotions play a huge role in how we deal with money. It's not just about the numbers. Money is tied to feelings of security, control, and even self-worth. When you bring up finances, it can trigger all kinds of different past experiences or anxieties. Maybe your spouse grew up in a house where money was an issue and therefore it was always talked about in a negative way. They would hear things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "It must be nice to be rich," but never heard anything really positive about money. Growing up in this kind of environment often leads to having negative emotions surrounding money, and just bringing up the topic can lead to your spouse reacting defensively or shutting down. Then there's communication styles. We all know that people communicate differently. Some are more direct, while others might avoid confrontation. When you're trying to have a serious discussion about finances, these differences in communication style can cause huge misunderstandings. One partner might want to hash out everything immediately and just get to the quickest resolution, while the other needs time to process and reflect. I know that in my relationship, I am the person who just wants to solve the problem right here and right now, while my girlfriend is someone who wants to hear all the information, sit on it for a while, before bringing it up the topic again on her time of choosing. Plus, there's often an underlying fear of judgment. If one partner has made financial mistakes in the past, they may fear being judged or criticized, which can make them hesitant to open up about money. This can also lead to a lot of secrecy or what's known as financial infidelity. This is when one person hides their spending, debt, or other financial behaviors from their partner. 100% of the time that I have seen this, it has only made financial disagreements worse because now there's not only a financial problem, but there's also a trust problem as well. Money is the number one issue that couples argue about, and is the second leading cause of divorce, just behind infidelity. Now, when you combine the two, financial infidelity, it is a recipe for a relationship disaster. I've worked with a lot of couples on their financial challenges over the years, and what I've found to be true is this. Both people in the relationship usually want the same thing when it comes to money. They want stability in their finances today, security in their finances tomorrow, and the ability to create their version of financial success. Let's take some clients of mine. When they came to me, they had some really bad habits around their financial conversations. They both had great incomes, but their types of income were very different. One had a very stable paycheck, while the other had a paycheck that fluctuated greatly depending on the time of the year. One even had some more extensive education in money, while the other knew only some of the basics. When they came to me, there was a lot of miscommunication about money, and so the topic was never brought up, and it was leading to disagreements and misunderstandings. Once they started going through my coaching program, I was able to identify where the communication issue was and how to resolve it. It all came down to really one thing. How money was treated in their households growing up was very different. Then they started implementing some of the exercises that I'd given them, and within a short amount of time, they built up some really great money habits together. They're now having regularly scheduled meetings about their money and their goals, and they are communicating about money in a healthy way. There is ultimate transparency, no judgment, and all of the conversations are about the future together. This was a huge win for them, and their relationship will be able to greatly thrive because of it. So how can you overcome these barriers and have healthier conversations about money with your partner? First, you need to remember that your partner is not the enemy. It's not about winning an argument. It's about working together as a team. When you try to win the argument, your relationship is the one that loses. Always approach every financial conversation with empathy and make it a point to understand their views before jumping in with your own. Take the time to learn about each other's financial values, not just their practical strategies. One strategy that works for a lot of couples is setting a regular time to talk about their finances. Instead of bringing up money in the heat of the moment, like when you see a large credit card bill or notice an unexpected charge, set aside time when you're both calm and open to the discussion. Make it a priority too. Put it on the calendar to make sure there are no other conflicts or the need to reschedule. This helps take the pressure off and keeps the conversation focused and will allow each person to utilize their own communication style. When you do sit down to talk about money, remember that it's easy to point fingers at what went wrong in the past, but that usually only leads to more conflict. Instead, talk about your goals as a couple, whether it's saving for a house, paying off debt, or planning a vacation. When you're both working towards the same future, it's easier to stay on the same page financially. Focus on the future, not the past. It's impossible to move forward when you're always looking back. When it came to my relationship, we both had very different backgrounds about money, and it was a topic that wasn't easily discussed. I was more open about my finances, and my partner was a lot more reserved about theirs. This made it difficult to bring up and always seemed to feel like it would lead to some kind of tension or awkward conversations. Me, being the problem solver that I am, I wanted to figure out a way to resolve this, to make the topic of money more lighthearted and fun. Something we could even talk about on a date night. So I wrote a book with a bunch of fun and engaging money conversation starters so that we could go through it together. We both learned a lot about each other's backgrounds with money, how we feel about different money topics, and even started planning our financial future together. It's called 31 Money Questions to Ask Your Partner, and I'll make sure to link it down in the description if you'd like to check it out. Talking about money with your partner is difficult because it is not just about the numbers. It's about emotions, communication styles, and sometimes even past experiences. But it doesn't have to be impossible. By approaching the conversation with empathy, setting aside time to talk about your finances, and focusing on your shared goals, you can start having healthier, more productive conversations about money. Remember, open communication about money is a core component of a strong relationship. It may not always be easy, but the more that you practice, the better you'll get at it, and the closer you and your significant other will feel as you tackle your financial goals together. Now, everything in this video won't mean anything unless you're able to build up some really good financial habits in your relationship as well. Therefore, please click the link that is somewhere on the screen and watch my video where I will break down 6 money habits that will change your life forever. Also, click one of the links in the description to download my free spending plan template so that you can be ahead of the curve in building those 6 habits. Check out that video, and I'll see you in a bit.